Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you're here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting. It moves about a bit, quite a bit, every day. You enjoy your desire. You like to feel it hatching. Sometimes do you enjoy an experience that brings that clarifying feeling to you? Sometimes someone just aggravates you into clarity, don't they? Well, isn't the clarity worth the aggravation? That's really the big question of the day, isn't it? Is the clarity, is the newfound perspective, is the expanded desire worth the aggravation? Well, is it?
Yes.
Well, you say that now. When you realize that even though aggravating circumstances or worse or better, contrast can be terrible or slight, can't it? And in all of it, there is a clarification of desire. When desire comes forth within you in a stronger way, it is a focusing of energy that is really worth talking about, because it is focusing more than just the clarity of this aggravating moment. It's focusing the wholeness of who you are forward in this expanding universe. Sometimes you don't realize how important your contrasting experiences are. In order to really get a sense of it, you'd have to look at the bigger picture of who you are. You'd have to remember that you were source energy before you came forth into this body, and that you made the decision to send a part of that consciousness into this leading edge time-space reality because you wanted the contrasting experience which would cause for you, for personal leading edge creator you, a new expanded point of view, a new desire. And you knew that when that desire flowed forth from you, even though for the most part, you knew even then that you would probably be hung up on the aggravation of the moment. You also knew that a rocket of desire, a rocket of clarity, a rocket of expanded wanting would flow forth from you. And you knew before you got here into this body that the source energy part of you would ride that rocket. In other words, you are more than you see here in these bodies. There is the physical you, and you are beautiful. But simultaneously with this physical you, there is a non-physical part of you that rides those rockets of desire, that never looks back to justify or defend, that never looks back to try to point out how justified this new desire is because of the inappropriateness of the aggravation. That part of you just rides the rocket of desire and embraces it fully. When you do that, when you turn the other cheek, so to speak, when you give your undivided attention to the desire that has just been born within you, you line up with it vibrationally, and law of attraction must bring you the manifestation of it quickly. But most of our physical friends don't line up with it quickly. What you usually do is the contrast aggravates it out of you, but then you keep beating the drum of what went wrong in a way of sort of defending why you want what you want, but without realizing that every moment you spend defending why you want what you want, you hold yourself in vibrational contradiction or difference to it. So it's an interesting thing that has been going on all of the days of your physical experience, and even more dramatically these days. Here's what's happening. You came forth, you explore contrast, you give birth. The source energy part of you rides that rocket of desire, gives undivided attention to the new improved version of life that you have put into your vibrational escrow, so to speak. And if you don't ride that rocket along with your source, if you don't then begin talking about what you want and why you want it, but instead you talk about how long you've been without it and how hard it is not to have it and how wrong it was what that person did and how inappropriate they all are in whatever way, as you keep beating your drum of what caused the rocket to be born, instead of riding the rocket, you cause a vibrational separation between you and you. And to you, you translate that in the form of negative emotion. You're ornery or something worse. Worse feeling. So now what happens is you have split yourself through your contradiction in vibration, but now law of attraction is responding to both vantage points. The larger part of you is tending to your vibrational escrow, and law of attraction is responding to that. So what that means is all circumstances and events and people are being drawn right to that desire. It's like a vortex, a powerful magnetic vortex. You could be drawn in there too if you weren't beating the drum of opposition. If you were talking about what it is you want over there and why it is you want it, you would become a vibrational match to it. And like everything else that has already been gathered by law of attraction to this powerful new desire that you have launched, you would be drawn in too, instead of being the odd man out of your own creation. But let's just say you are the odd man out. You're still beating the drum. It's so wrong, you say. I can't believe that happened to me. What were they thinking? Why is it not working out for me? Meanwhile, over here percolating along is everything you want, and the only thing that's missing from your dreams is you, because you're hung up in this justifying mode. So in this justifying mode, you're offering a pretty good wad of vibration. You're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore. So law of attraction brings you, true to its word always, more contrast. You get more of what you're offering vibrationally. So now you're getting more of your ornery stuff. Your source, your counterpart, the larger part of you, is getting more of your dreams, and you're getting more pulled apart, which means you're now ornerier. But the good news is you launch another rocket of clarity. And the source within you says, good idea, we were waiting for that one. We will give our undivided attention to the new and expanded version of you. And you don't say it, but you sort of do. You say, not me. I'm still mad. I'm going to wrestle this to the ground and kill it. I'm not going over there in that Pollyanna attitude and talk about what I want and why I want it before it gets here. When it gets here, I'll talk about it, but meanwhile, I'm going to tell it like it is, 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 tell it like it is. So you keep telling it like it is, and you keep launching the expanded version of you. The source energy part of you keeps enjoying being the expanded version of you, and the law of attraction keeps gathering all of that stuff that matches the expanded version of you. The only thing that's not over there with the expanded version of you is you. Because you're defending or justifying or wanting to be right. You know, there are a lot of things that you're saying to yourself and others that are right. That person did tell you a lie, or they did do something that was not the most genuine, nice thing to do, or you don't look the way you want to look, or you don't have as much money as you want to have, or whatever. You're not making it up. We know this. In fact, the opposite is usually true. You're doing your level best to express how it is. But we want you to understand that if you keep expressing how it is, it can't change. oh, different faces, different places, but the same scenario you keep living, only it gets more tense as the years go by, because every time you live the same scenario and ask for more, the larger part of you becomes the more, and the more the larger part of you becomes the more, and you don't let yourself become the more spread apart you become, and the more discord.